Hey guys, RPM here, hope you're doing well. Having a really great day. This video, I am beginning my server journey. I'm actually going to install ESXi on just a single server today, and I want to place this server on my server rack. Okay, this has been a long time coming. A lot of you guys been asking me, Red Panda, where's the server content? When are you going to be installing your servers? Well, I'm going to do it today, okay? I'm finally going to do it. You guys have been asking me. I've just been so busy doing other stuff. As you guys know, I'm trying to get the power set up on this side here and a lot to do. But anyways, I have the brain capacity to get my servers going now, okay, in the meantime. So, you guys probably heard it just ramp up. I am running one of these HP server Dell 360s. You guys saw the Xeon specs in the beginning. These are the Xeon 2667 V4s, 3.2 gigahertz, and I have 128 gigs of DDR4 memory. Now, I have another two Dell 360s here, which I want to cluster in a high availability setup. All three of these together utilizing VMware ESXi. Ever since I learned about this technology, I think it was about a decade ago, I've had a little bit of experience setting it up before on older, servers back then, 10 plus years ago. So the same idea I want to apply here at home. The reason why I want to have three VMware ESXi hosts is because I'm going to be running a server SAN that is going to be the data store for my virtual machine. And I actually have a PowerEdge R620 here. Thank you to Mr. Geek of All Trades who sent this to me. I'm just going to fill this up with SSDs. I have about 2 terabyte SSDs ready to fill in with this. That's going to act as my data store, and hopefully it will run through 10 gigabit. I have a whole bunch of these SFP plus 10 gigabit network cards, okay, and hopefully my ubiquiti 10 gigabit switch is going to be compatible with those Intel NICs, okay. So I have a ubiquiti 10 gig SFP plus switch here, USW. So hopefully I'm going to have 3 10 gig connections to each of those 3 hosts. And then I realize I may need to have just a regular gigabit switch, as I want to designate 3 ports for those servers, gigabit ports, as the management ports for those 3 host servers running ESXi. So this is going to be a multi-part video. I'm sure my crypto mining server journey, doing nodes and master nodes, flux nodes, of course. I really need to get my Nimbus node up for Flux. It's been in my Xalcore just sitting there. Anyways, guys, I need to, I just turned this on. This server I actually got from Mr. Mickey Miner. Thanks so much, man. And so I just got these 3.5 to 2.5 inch hard drive caddies, which I need to fill with just 240 gig SSDs, just simple Kingston SSDs. I think right now it's populated with 8 terabyte drives. Thank you again, Mickey Miner. I didn't really need to have 8 terabytes, but thank you again for these drives. I'm going to replace these because I'm going to mirror these 240 gig drives so that I can install ESXi, the mirrored drive, so that I can have redundancy, essentially. So with this whole setup, I'll have more mirrored drives, 2 more SSDs on the other servers, and then, of course, we'll have redundancy with having the 3 hosts, which are going to run all the virtual machines. So I'll have essentially a fail-safe of 3 servers, okay, in case, any of them go down. The other 2 servers will still run all my virtual machines. If 2 go down, then depending on how much resources I'm using, how many virtual machines I'm using, how much RAM and all that kind of stuff. I haven't played around with ESXi since version 5, and I know that it needed the same CPUs and RAM back then. Now I've heard that you don't really need to have the similar hardware to transition seamlessly when a host goes down in high availability mode. Anyways, my server is boot looping here. I just turned it on. I just wanted to see if it worked, and it seems like it's okay. So I'm just going to place in these hard drives now, and then we'll install ESXi. Okay, took a bit to put the caddy into, I guess, the 2.5 inch caddy here, adapter. So now, just gonna push it into the server, like so. There we go. Hopefully that that goes in as the SATA is on the back here, so that should be good. Let's bring you guys through each step here. Okay, all right, that seems to, oh, there we go. Okay, next I'm gonna turn on the server, and then we are gonna go into the RAID configurator. So I'm fluent in like Dell servers. I know how to set these up, the RAID configurator, but I'm sure it's the same way. I think ILO is like the iDRAC for Dell, if I understand that correctly. So it looks like, yeah, it's just booting up. So I have to wait till I see the key to go into the RAID configuration. Okay, let's see. Looks like I'll probably need to go into the, I'm thinking F10, intelligent provisioning. Yes, that's probably gonna be it. Okay, so I hit F10. Oh no, the keyboard's not plugged in. Make sure I have a keyboard. Okay, now F10. Okay, it's selected. All right, I think I hit it just in time. Hopefully that is the one. Okay, it came up with this after it booted all the drivers and whatnot. So I'm gonna go to Smart Storage Admin. This seems like the one I need to go to, hopefully to do mirror. Okay, it's taking a bit to load here, but I just want to verify. I'm looking at two different, like, I forgot what these called, SAS connectors. Looks like this might be the RAID controller, okay, the HP one. This looks like to be the onboard motherboard for the onboard RAID, I'm assuming. So hopefully with this cable here, looks like that's the mini SAS cable going to the back plane here for the 4 hard drive bays, 3.5-inch bays. Okay, all right, we got a different screen here. Okay, I'm in. Welcome to HPE Smart Storage Administrator. So I actually just plugged in a mouse, USB mouse, just in the back of the server, as you guys can see there, because it looks like I can utilize a mouse now. So we're gonna go, let's see, I'm just guessing here. I'm gonna go array controller. All right, then I'm gonna go to configure. Okay, we are going to create a array. Okay, yeah, I see the two 240 gig SSDs, so we're gonna just select both of those. I'm going to hit the bottom here, create array. Okay, so RAID level. All right, so I do not want to do RAID 0, that's striping. I mean, if I want faster performance, then I would go with RAID 0, but with RAID 1, I want to do mirroring, which will give me redundancy from having those two SSDs. So if one goes down, the ESXi operating system will still run on the other one. That's basically what I want. So going down the list here, stripe size, I'm just going to leave that as default, whatever HP selected here. Sectors, going to leave that. Size, going to leave that. Yeah, maximum size, yeah. SSD over provisioning optimization. Perform SSD over provisioning optimization on the array. Okay, that sounds cool. Okay, that's good. Gonna create the logical drive. It says SSD over provisioning optimization will be performed. Yes, at the bottom. Okay, it's gonna do its thing, and it says logical drive was successfully created. Okay, I'm gonna hit finish at the bottom. Okay, so I think that's it. So I have a logical array now, and so now I'm just going to go ahead and we're going to go to the top right, and I'm just going to exit the application, and it's going to looks like I need to go to the top here, and we're going to shut down the machine. Okay, and the reason why we're going to do that is because now I'm going to burn ESXi, the ISO, on a USB stick, and I'm going to try version 8. If that doesn't work with this existing hardware, because VMware, does require the compatibility for ESXi as the new versions go up and up. I know that older hardware may not be compatible with it, so I'm just, for the heck of it, we're going to try version 8, and I'll let you guys know if that doesn't work. If not, then we'll have to go to ESXi version 7. Okay, I just finished burning the ISO VMware ESXi 8.0b. All right, free download off the VMware website. Of course, you have to make an account and all that. I'm going to eject the USB stick. Now, we're going to place it into the server. And just let's hope to God this works. I'm going to take off the USB in the front. Put that in. Turn it on, and let's see if it works on this hardware. I hope it works. V4s, 128 gigs of RAM. I guess the biggest thing is going to be 2 SFP plus 10 gig network card here. It's a HP branded. I'm not sure if that's compatible or not, as well as the Raid controller. Oh, I may need to download the Raid driver, okay, for this specific one for ESXi. Well, we're gonna see if that works. Be right back. Okay, it's just loading in automatically into the ESXi USB. I didn't have to press anything, just automatically loaded. One thing, the BIOS was set for UEFI, and I was just Googling. ESXi can run on either legacy or MBR or UEFI, so that's what I have set here. And when I used Rufus to burn the image, I did GBT, not MBR, so that's what the ISO was burned as. Quick note while this is loading, some of you guys may be asking Red Panda, why aren't you using your Dell R620s? Okay, so I know for a fact these are quite old servers, as well as ESXi is not compatible, especially version 7 or 8. And I know recently, earlier this year, there was a vulnerability on older versions of ESXi which are no longer supported or updated. So that was one of the big things, the reasons why I wanted to go with, you know, a bit newer hardware, DDR4 RAM versus DDR3, as well as just newer processors and stuff. Hopefully this is supported on this here. Okay, we can actually see Xeon E5 2667 V4s, 3.2 gigahertz, 127 gigabytes of RAM. Okay, so it's still loading here. So far, so good. I know someone's gonna ask, Red Panda, why didn't you just use Proxmox? And you know what? I could have. I'm just, personally, I'm familiar with VMware, so that's why I didn't go this route. Later on, I do want to use these for Proxmox. I am going to use Proxmox on these servers for something, and as well as on this Dell R820, I'm going to be using FreeNAS or TrueNAS, I believe it's called TrueNAS now, for my data store for my VMs. Okay, after 5 minutes, that took a while. The installer came up here. We're going to press enter to continue. Oh, wait, the keyboard's not plugged in because I took out the USB. Okay. All right, let's try again. Continue, enter. We're gonna press F11 to accept. Okay, it's scanning for available devices. Let's see if the driver's here. Hopefully I don't have to get a USB out. Oh, okay, yes, logical volume, HP. Yes, it shows up here, perfect. 233 gigs, so yeah, that's the 240 gig mirrored SSD drive. Okay, that's good. I'm just gonna press enter on that. All right, US default, select the keyboard, yep. Enter a password. Gonna press enter. Okay, it says error found during the system scan. CPU in this host may not be supported in future ESXi releases. Please plan accordingly. Okay, all right, so, okay, that's just a warning. Didn't say that this CPU, I guess the 2667 V4s are not compatible, but I'm assuming version 9 of ESXi, it will not be supported. Fine by me, that's okay. Gonna hit continue. All right, confirm install. We are going to install, press F11. All right, so far so good. Hopefully the NICs are supported. I really hope so. If not, I do have an Intel one here, which hopefully is supported, 10 gig SFP plus. I bought a crap ton of them for my servers and a bunch of DAC cables, directly attached cables. All right, gonna let this install. Okay, installation complete. We're gonna hit enter to reboot. And it's gonna reboot, and then I'm going to take out the USB stick. Gonna just wait for that to reboot. Okay, it says shutting down device drivers and all that stuff. Okay, perfect. Gonna take it out now so it doesn't boot into this. And so now hopefully I don't have to touch anything. It's just gonna boot into the ESXi that is installed on the mirrored drive for redundancy. Okay, yep, it's loading VMware ESXi now. Looks good. Okay, no USB, so yeah, looks like that's working. Now, next part is to verify the NICs if it shows up. Also, I need to put in a static IP because for my whole network, I obviously want to have my servers on a different VLAN, on a different subnet, because away from my mining rigs, which are pretty much, most of them are plugged into this switch. So thankfully with Ubiquiti, I'm able to designate each port to whichever VLAN that I want. Okay, so my servers are obviously going to be on one VLAN, and maybe my management will be on a different VLAN. I can configure that. My Ubiquiti setup here, I'm not going to go through that in this video. There's so many different ways depending on which setup you have, what type of networking gear you have. I don't think it's prudent for me to show that here. Also, it would be bad operational security for me if I were to show all my VLANs, my subnets, IP addressing, all that kind of stuff. But personally, if you need help to configure that kind of stuff, just go on YouTube. There's a bunch of YouTubers that do Ubiquiti or other networking, you know, HP, whatever, Cisco, whatever systems you have, on learning on how to VLAN and stuff. That knowledge is a whole other type of job, really. It's its own job, and I'm not a networking channel, so I don't think I should go through that in this video. If you guys really want me to, or need help, come on Discord, or if you need one-on-one help, I do have a one-on-one service, redpandamining.shop, if you want to talk with me one by one, if you want one-on-one help with that kind of stuff. Okay, looks like it's loaded in here. All right, HP ProLiant DL3060 Gen 9. See the CPUs, RAM, and we have a static IP. Oh no, this is not an IP. I don't have any networking plugged in, but it does look like if I press F2 on the keyboard. All right, root and password is, I'm gonna say root, or no, I already put a password. Gonna put that in, and we're in. Next, I want to see configure management network. Okay, so this is where I can see network, I want to see a network adapters. So it looks like there's a bunch of NICs here showing up. So that is good. I know that there's the 4 onboard 1 gig, and then the other 2 is the 10 gig SFP. So that means it's working, I think. That means, I think those F1, these last 2 are the SFP plus NICs, and the first 4 are the 4 1 gig NICs on the back. All right, so that is good. Okay, so I'm gonna configure my static IP for this one, and then gonna shut this down and put this on my rack, and then see if I can get to the web GUI when I type in the IP address of the management port. Okay, this is for managing this, also to set up the cluster to connect to the other HP servers here, which basically what we did today, I'm gonna have to do again on these 2 servers, and then hopefully I'll show you guys how I set that up in another video. Okay, so I'm going to go to IPv4 config. I'm gonna set the IP here, and actually I already did, so I was trying to figure out all my VLANs and stuff. So I'm just doing a test VLAN just for a demonstration for you guys here. So I decided to do 10.150.0.10. All right, so I named this VLAN 150. Just, you know, I'm trying to make it the same, but really the VLAN numbers can be whatever you want, whatever system that you have. And then the subnet mask is 255.255.255.0. This is a /24 network, so there are 254 usable IPs, and then the router is, the default gateway is my router, okay, the VLAN, which is 10.150.0.1. Okay, so I'm gonna press enter for okay. All right, because we are doing a static IPv4 address, not dynamic or DHCP. Then I think that's it. DNS configuration, this will just be obtained automatically. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so as long as we remember the IP that we placed here and the VLAN port that I configured for that first server I just set up is going to be on this port here. Okay, so actually I'm designating these 3 ports here for the management for now until I figure out, actually I should just switch this 24 port Ubiquiti for a 48 port. This is a 24 port. I don't have enough ports, just, you know, regular RJ45 ports. These are going to be designated for the data store. So I'm gonna have like 4 of these designated for the TrueNAS server, and then these 3 are for the hosts, and then the 3 management ports I'm setting up right now, yeah, those should be on different ports, not on 10 gig. I do have a few other switches. Actually, I have a Netgear ProSafe 10 gig switch here. I'm gonna have to figure out what to do here. I have a lot of I guess, different configurations I could do on the network here. I'm gonna figure that out later. For now, I have my IP set for this one. Let me just see if I can connect to it. So we're done now. This is essentially a hypervisor host for my virtual machines, okay? Only thing that's running on it really is just those two SSDs mirrored and the VMware ESXi. Okay, I'm going to shut down the server. There's F12. And of course I have to log in again, and I have to press F2 to shut down. Okay, shutdown in progress. Okay, gonna put the lid back on, and then I'm gonna place the server onto here, and I'm gonna see if I can remote into the web GUI. Then I'll need to install vCenter server. It's essentially the VMware ESXi management software, which I need to use to cluster the 3 servers together. So I'm probably gonna make a virtual machine on that server, get it all up and all that stuff. I'll do that offline. I don't think I need to show you guys how I'm gonna do that. I'm probably gonna download server 2019 and install vCenter server on there as the virtual machine management or VMware vCenter. Okay, let me place the server on here. Hawk, DJ, I've been looking at you like for the past hour. I have to say, I really like these banners. That's all. All right, guys, I have the server here. It took me a while to put it in. I had a lot of trouble putting in the rails, okay? These little things that go on the side of the server, and then you have to lift the server up and like slide it in. It was heavy, all right? I gotta say it was pretty heavy putting this in. Otherwise, I got everything in. I got the power cables in, got the Ethernet for the management port. That's gonna be one of the ports here. And then my 10 gig looks like it is working. I will show you guys the web GUI for the VMware ESXi here in a second. And the 2 C13, C14 power cables all plugged in. Okay, so that looks pretty good. I know that you guys can probably see a space right here. I am gonna look for something where I can push through this DAC cable, because similar to my other cabling here, I want it to go through the rack like this and not out on the sides, because I only have an open air rack. I don't have a, a enclosed server rack where I can go by the side and put the cables this way for cable management. I can't do that, so I have everything inside, as you guys can see, like so, with pass-through Cat6a patch panels and whatnot. So I think I can just get one of those 1U, one with multiple holes, so I can just push through this cable. Uh-oh, I think we have an issue here. This one's green, this one's yellow. All right, I'm gonna figure that out later. Maybe this means this is active, and this one means it's like the backup. You guys can let me know. Mickey Miner, if you're watching this, let me know. I'm not fluent in HP servers, so if you guys know what this means, let me know down below. Okay, so I've gotten into the web GUI. All right, the management port of the VMware ESXi. Okay, so this was the IP that we talked about, 10.150.0.10. All right, so this would be for the first host, and so when I set up the other 2 servers, it'll be .11 and .12. All right, so that will be how I will manage these 3. And of course, it says get vCenter server. So later on, once I get my TrueNAS server up for the data store for my virtual machines. Now, this is where it's gonna get tricky, because I know the networking for this normally goes through a network switch by itself. iSCSI would be something like just a simple network switch. All the ports would go into here, but it wouldn't be connected to the router because it doesn't need a connection to any router for the iSCSI data store. So I'm curious to know if I will be able to then put the iSCSI onto my ubiquiti here for these 3 10 gigabit ports. And I just realized I'll need another port for each of the 3 hosts for internet as well. So that's probably gonna go through here. Now, oh man, my head's already like swinging here. I need to figure out if that's gonna work, as it's been a while since I played around with VMware. This is version 8, so this looks kind of similar from version 5. Not really, but I'm gonna have to play around with this. I'm happy that the physical NICs do show up here. Okay, so this is my management port, and this is the 10 gig. Okay, so that'll be hopefully for my iSCSI, and I guess the other 10 gig for the internet. Or actually, you know what? I don't need 10 gig for internet. I just need 1 gig. So yeah, actually no, I can do Ethernet, all right, the 1 gig for internet. So that will be another, I guess, a virtual switch. All right, yeah, I need to do all this. I don't know if I'm gonna do this in a video. I'm gonna have to play around with all this. I don't know if you guys want to see me do a video on this or not. I mean, this is something that's, there's tons of videos on YouTube already, how to set this all up. I don't think I need to do this, but if you guys really want me to, I can figure this out first and then do a video on this. So, but anyways, guys, this is all I wanted to do in this video. I'm now super excited to get this going, and yeah, I'm excited to, I gotta get my data store up, I gotta get the other 2 host servers up, I gotta do all that. I'm gonna start making the vCenter server so I can get the cluster up. Oh my god, I got so much to do. I'm excited though. This is what it's all about. And then once it's all set up, can finally get into nodes, you know, crypto nodes, master nodes, my Flux nodes, of course. Hopefully I can get into the Neoxa master node stuff as well. And yeah, man, fun times ahead. Okay, my friends, that's it. I think this video is long enough. Let me know what you guys think, and if you have any observations or opinions or anything that you think I should do or change, let me know. This is this is just crazy. This is gonna be a work in progress. I'm gonna have a lot of fun, a lot of trials and tribulations, but I'm gonna be vlogging my whole journey into my whole networking servers and whatnot. But I really have to do this methodically because I wanna do this in a way, because I've spent so much money on this Ubiquiti hardware, I should really utilize it to the fullest extent. And you know, I'm gonna have multiple static IPs for my internet and stuff, and so I need to figure out all the natting and VLANs, and I don't know if UPnP is going to be an issue. I got a lot to play around with this whole setup. You guys give me your experience down below. I'll see you all in the next server video. I hope it won't be too long, but I do have a lot of other projects to work on, so I'll see you all in the next video. Have a good one. Peace out. Oh man. Seriously, that was a lot of work. That was a lot of work. Okay, I'm just gonna start doing the other servers now.